Hey, friends, I'm Shauna Cruz. I'm here today to share with you some training information about Canva, but you're actually going to get a bonus training from me today. I didn't ask Hope permission if I could do this, but also knowing Hope, I don't think she's going to yell at me. And I think they go hand in hand. So you're going to get a little bit of a bonus training on branding as well. So welcome. So she wanted me to share with you today how to create Canva like banner covers, if you will, for your videos. I think that YouTube technically calls them thumbnails. So basically, when someone goes to your channel and they see all of your videos, each of your videos has like a cover photo or a thumbnail on it that is what people see on your channel. So you can totally use whatever screenshot you want from the video. You'll see once you upload a video that it will ask you what thumbnail you want to use, and you can drag that across your video if you want to find a picture from your video to use. But what's kind of trendy right now is making your own cover, banner, thumbnail images that kind of either explain what the video is about or have some text over it. Even if you're going to use a thumbnail from your video, a lot of people like screenshot the thumbnail, if you will, or take a picture, and then they put it into Canva and they'll add text over it so that it still looks kind of like a professional, seamless kind of thing. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick, and I'm going to go into Canva. Which I need to make sure that I have Canva open. That would be the smartest thing to do. And I thought that it was open. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so hopefully you're seeing this. So this is my Canva. Now I'm going to preface this with, I personally do have Canva Pro. I am not saying that you have to run out and pay for Canva Pro by any means, but I do already have it. So if anything on my Canva maybe looks a little bit different than your Canva, that's probably why. And even if you have the free version of Canva, there are, thousands of things that you can use this for. So first thing you're going to do when you go into Canva is it's going to make you log in, and you'll come to this page. And I don't know how familiar everyone is with Canva, so we'll kind of do basics. And if you know all of the basics, you can kind of maybe just dig into the later stuff. But this big purple button on the top right here that says Create Design, this is probably where you start almost any time that you're going to just start something brand new. And so if you click on this, you'll see that what's amazing about Canva is they have size recommendations basically already figured out for almost any platform you can think of. So I know some of us have been here a while, and I'm like an old school Photoshop Illustrator girl, and so that's where I made all of my graphics back in the day. I know a lot of people used PicMonkey and PicCollage and all that kind of stuff, but I was an Adobe girl, so I did all the Adobe work. But when Canva was invented, it was like, it cut so much of the work time in half and just made things so much simpler and faster, because those kind of things you didn't have to try to figure out, which is amazing. So you can search in the search bar. And so like if you were to search all of the YouTube stuff is going to come up. And so this will be the sizes, so to speak, that you need. So if you see this YouTube thumbnail right here, you'll see that it is 1280 by 720 pixels. And that is the size that you would want to use for your YouTube thumbnail. Now, I'm going to pause for a little bit here too. YouTube, I don't know if you've been on it in a minute. I'm sure you have, actually, because everybody goes to YouTube for everything, I think, which is probably the reason that we chose this pod. But there are things on YouTube now called shorts, and there are also just videos, okay? So, oh, you can't even see my phone. Okay, so the shorts are going to be your quick, fun, quirky little videos, and those are going to be in 16 by 9 dimensions in actuality. So basically like a story template size. So we're going to talk about those as well. And then just typical videos that are the landscape that, old school YouTube that you're probably used to. If you haven't, if you don't ever dive into the shorts, that's going to be this thumbnail that we're talking about, this 1280 by 720. So we will talk about both sizes, but just know that this thumbnail that we're going to talk about first is the landscape one. So when you're filming, like if you're going to use your trusty little handy phone to make YouTube videos, you're going to want to have your phone in landscape position to film a video for YouTube, to make sure that it doesn't have the blurry things on the side. And you can totally upload with the blurry things on the side, but if you're going for that like ultra professional looking thing, any YouTube videos that you're going to make, you're going to want to film those in landscape. And that was my biggest hiccup about moving things to YouTube, is I'm pretty active on a lot of the other social platforms and everything's portrait. And so I've filmed that way for a long time. And I always forget, like, oh, I'm going to put this on YouTube. I should probably make a landscape version. So I just wanted to preface that as well for you. So we're going to click on this thumbnail and it's going to open a new page for you. And it's going to be a blank screen that you can start with anything that you can imagine, which is fun. And as it loads here, you're going to see on the left, this top button here, it says design. If you click on that, this is going to show you templates basically that you can use. So all of these are already pre-made for you. Again, I do have the pro version. So mine probably shows a little bit more options. But I believe that you can still use pro ones, even if you're not pro. It just adds a watermark to it. So if you could cover up the watermark or something, then, you know, you would still be good to go there. But these are basically already set up. They already look gorgeous. They're already set to the size and everything that you need. And in order to use one of these, you would literally just click on it and it would drag it over to your page, and then you can change whatever you want. So we maybe wouldn't want this to say my favorite place in New York City. We might want this to say my favorite spring styles, right? Oh, I got a sticker on me. Don't know where that came from. And you could use this. You could change the font here if you wanted. Canva has a ton of fonts. You could change the font color if you want. So, you know, you could play around with that. If you already have the 31 brand logo colors set up in Canva, and don't worry, we're going to talk about all this. You could make it 31 pink if you wanted, or if you have your own color that you use. And then you could change the photo in the background by either searching for something that you want. So maybe you just want a spring picture, and you could use something like that. Or if you wanted, obviously, your own picture on there, then you could upload your own picture and put that on there. Or if you wanted a 31 stock photo, there are tons. Those are all available on TOT. Hopefully you guys know that. But you can go to TOT and you can download that album with all the catalog photos from this season. And you could import or use like an actual 31 photo or something like that. So all kinds of options. And like I said, tons and tons and tons and tons of templates out there. For anything you can think of, pick a style that you like. If you're wanting to use the same thumbnail for every single one, but just changing out the information, you can do that. If you want to use a different thumbnail each time, you could do that. I think the page, just for my own personal opinion, aesthetically looks better kind of when you kind of follow a similar pattern. But by all means, you could, like I said, mix and match or switch things up. So I have actually been working on my own here, and I've been trying to decide what I want to do since I'm getting ready to kind of blow up my YouTube, if you will. And this is what I think I'm kind of go with. And I've got some of my content planned out that I want to make videos for or of. And so you'll see that I think I'm going to go with the idea of using the same style, but just switching out pictures and what the video is about. So like I'm planning on doing a how to pack carry-on video. I actually already have that one. I probably actually already have all of these videos made, but some of them may be with older styles. So I'll have to look through my arsenal that I have. But that's the great thing too, is you always have tons. If you just film content all the time, you always have tons of content to use. And so that can, you know, you can use it in multiple places all the time. So How to pack carry-on. I'm that girl that does not check luggage. Yep, that's me. I'm not waiting for my bag to come off that carousel. I'm going to hit the ground and I'm going to take off running and I'm going to go have the most fun ever. I don't want to wait on luggage. So I have done tips and tricks before about how to pack for carry-on only and how to fit the most you can in your suitcases, but still stay organized. And so a video about that, must-have mom bag. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with the wearable large utility tote. I think all of us are. And yes, we did just have those on sale for $25. And so yes, a lot of them were gone. But a video that I made actually last month when they were on sale was why this is your next must-have mom bag, like why you require this bag in your life. And so I have that video, and then organize your purse. And then I got new for spring styles. So these are just some things, like I said, I've been playing around with. I'm trying to come up with what aesthetic I want for my page and what I want it to look like and what I want to do. So I'm content planning and all that. And hopefully you guys are too, because I know Hope wanted us to do that. So hopefully you're doing that as well right now. And I'd love to see what you're working on or what you're planning on doing, because sharing is caring. And I honestly geek out about all this kind of stuff. Like as soon as she said, does anyone want to share some stuff on Canva? And I'm like, me, because the design stuff is my bread and butter. Like I geek out about all of it. So, okay. So this is the video template. Like I said, if you're just going to upload a regular video, but then we also have shorts. So, and I haven't quite worked out my shorts cover images yet, but to do a cover photo, if you will, for your shorts, you're going to want to use the Instagram story. And I mean, Facebook story, Snapchat story, all the stories are technically the same size, but 16:9, basically, if you're on your phone, is your full portrait mode. But your pixels is 1080 by 920. And so it will give you a portrait version, and same kind of idea. It's kind of slow to load, so I think that's just when you're in screen sharing mode. It's a little bit slower. So there's all these templates, again, that you can use. Pick something, like I said, that matches your vibe or that you like. And I feel like, again, this is just my personal opinion, aesthetically speaking, I'm going to try to tie my story sized one or my shorts, YouTube shorts ones, to a similar aesthetic to my video ones, so they don't look just completely off the wall, unrelated. Like if someone sees my video on a social platform or a photo or something, I want them to kind of, even without necessarily looking at the name of who it is, if they're familiar with me in my account, I should say, to kind of automatically be like, oh, that's Shauna. Because the more that you can get in your audience's mind and the more that you can repeat things that are going to remind them about yourself and about you and follow your own kind of aesthetic, the more they're going to connect your content with you. They're going to think of you when they're out and about or when they need something. The more they're going to know, like, and trust you. And then that means that they're going to buy from you, right? So the end goal, right, for our YouTube videos or Instagram or Facebook or whatever we're going to do is to make money. We want these people to buy from us. So we don't want them to just watch us. And, I mean, it's great if they watch us and they click like and they subscribe. Yes, we want all of that stuff. But the end game goal is that you want them spending money with you. Am I right? You want to find new customers. You want to find new hosts. You want to find new team members. So if they're just out there watching, I mean, that's great and it boosts your views. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, because we all need that and that's all great. But at the end of the day, you want to try to convert these people to customers. And so the more that you can get yourself out there on any and all social platforms in a similar way that's going to create a similar vibe and a similar feed, I think, in my opinion, makes you think more of that person. So and so I'm going to talk about branding a little bit, and we're gonna teach all the Canva things as well. So I brought some friendly brands with me, just things honestly that I had on my table really close to me that I thought that I could use. And so these are just examples of companies. Now, granted, these are going to be bigger companies, but when you see their logo, when you see their colors, right, when you see their fonts, you think of them. You think specifically of them for a reason, because they have all made their brand and their logos and their information. This is Huggies. they make their information and their logos and their brands and everything similar aesthetically. Like I said, use the same colors, use the same fonts. Like if you think of Starbucks, you think of that deep green, am I right? If you think of, let's do our favorite friend here. Does anybody know this logo that's on this bag? Of course, I can't get it to not be blurry. I think it's because I have, maybe my background is so blurry. And I don't know why, this is probably a question for Hope, but why didn't we do the 31 pink on the clear backs? Is the colored ink maybe something, because they did the black logo, but 31, right? 31 pink, like you see that color, you think of us, you know, that's your bag lady. And a lot of people use that even in their VIP groups and social channels and things, because that pink is just so, everybody, like I said, they think of us, I think, and they think of the logo and the brand when they see that. And so branding, I think, is huge. And I think it goes perfectly with this Canva training, because while you're designing your banners, your thumbnails, your cover nails, your cover nails, that doesn't make any sense, your cover photos, even your headshot or your profile picture on these apps. I think that it's a good idea if you have them all, like I said, have that similar vibe, just like the professional brands that you follow all day, every day, that you're obsessed with yourself or that you use, because that's how you get that recognition, that auto recognition from people of, oh, yep, that's Shauna. Yep, she's my 31 girl. Look, here's her stuff. That looks like Shauna. Oh, this reminds me of Shauna. The more that they're thinking of you and thinking of things that relate to you, then I honestly think the more the better. So we are going to dive a little bit into this. I'm going to show you just, like I said, how to kind of make one yourself. I'm going to go back to the video one here, and I'm just going to add a new page at the bottom of mine. Now, yellow is my color. So a lot of people kind of associate that with me. It's my favorite color. Yellow and green is kind of my thing. Lemons and limes, if you know me very well, everybody, I can't tell you how many times a week I will get texted, tagged on Facebook, tagged on Instagram, tagged on all the things. Anytime someone is out and about and sees something with a lemon on it, or if they're shopping and they see something with a lemon on it, they'll send me a picture. Like I said, I get tags all the time. And I think that's a good thing, because I think if they're out and about and, for example, they see a lemon and they think of me, and they send me that information, that means that I'm in their mind, right? And the more, like I said, that you can be in their mind. Like if they see a lemon and they think of me and they're like, oh, I need to send this to Shauna. This reminds me of Shauna. Shauna would like this. What do you think the chances are if they're talking to their best friend and their best friend is like, oh my gosh, I need a new wallet so badly. Like I hate my wallet. I need a new wallet so badly. What do you think the chances are that then they're going to think of me or you to recommend to their friend and be like, I have the best wallet because it's from my girl Shauna, right? And so I just think the more that, like I said, you can live in their brain rent free, the better. And so pick things that are going to tie into all of your branding that you already got going on, or that vibe or that feel that you have. So think about your VIP group, think about your team, your 31 team, think about things, like I said, that resonate with you, or symbols that mean something to you, or maybe something that people associate with you. So because of all this, I did totally go when I launched 31, my 31 business way back in the day. I did go with the yellow and the lemon theme. So my VIP group is refresher style, and it's my logo is a little lemon here, and it says refresher style on it. And then to carry that theme out, so I have my VIPs, and they are called my main squeeze VIPs. So kind of going with that lemon theme again. My team is lemonade makers, because we make lemonade out of lemons, and we always see the positivity. We try to keep our positive pants on in our team. And so I just use that all the time. I keep using it anytime that I branch and do something else, just because, like I said, it's already established. People already think of it because I've been branding this long for this time. So find things, if you don't already have your brand figured out, find things or think of things or design things based on what you're going to brand yourself with. If you do already have your brand figured out, which is half the battle, and even if it's not a full entire piece yet, but like, you know what colors you like and things like that, then definitely design your thumbnails and your story covers and all of that with branding in mind. Okay. So again, this, if you are a pro member, you can create color palettes on Canva, and then they are right at your fingertips whenever you need them, and you can make as many color palettes as you want. I think a lot of you probably know that I make scripts and stuff, and so I do a lot of graphics and things. So every time a new catalog comes out, I come up with a color palette just for that catalog. And so, and I save them out here as the name and the color palette. And so then as I'm making graphics and things throughout that season, I'm always using that color palette for my graphics and things, but then my brand colors are always incorporated as well. And so that way I know that my graphics and things I'm making are going to coordinate with the pictures from 31 and the prints, because I've pulled colors directly from those. So, and again, this particular part is a pro version. But I know that a lot of people do have pro. So I did want to mention that if you didn't already know that, that you can set up your own color palettes. You can also set up your own brand fonts. So font is another thing that people think of when they think of branding. And you can, if you use the same font over and over and over and over, and that's your font, then that's just another thing that can make people think of you when they see it. And Canva has a ton of fonts. But something that you might not know is, again, if you're a pro version, you can actually upload your own fonts. So if you have a font that you love, that you use, and you've used it for years, or maybe you design your own font, if you're that type of person, or you've had someone design a specific logo for you, like you went out and hired a graphic designer or someone to make a logo or something for you, chances are they used a particular font, and chances are you liked that font because you bought that logo or whatever from them, right? And so you can actually upload your own logos, and then, or your own logos, your own fonts, sorry, and then they're out here and you can use those. I probably shouldn't have typed that. So on my logo, this is actually my font that goes around the lemon on the bottom part. So you can actually, again, if you're a pro member for Canva, you can upload your own fonts, and then that's just another great way that you can tie it all together and make it. Where's my logo folder? Goodness. I got lots of folders, you guys. I'm on Canva all the time. I can't be the only one. Who's a Canva geek like me? So you see this little refresher style that goes around the lemon here. This is actually the font. And so you can, like I said, upload your own fonts. So that's fun. If you don't have any of that information, or you don't want to do that, you don't want to have your own font that you upload or whatever, pick a font, like I said, that you like on Canva, and you know, go with it and use that kind of in all of your stuff, so that it kind of carries over all the time. And that is another way to just kind of make it your own and make everything tie together in this cute, pretty little package. So I'm trying to think other things for branding that you can do. Okay, a couple more pro tips. So you can see I have a ton of folders out here. I'm a folder person. I like things to be organized. I like to have like things by year. So like this is my 2024 winter spring 31 folder, but then I also have a 2023 winter folder, or in a 2023 spring folder, and a et cetera, and they're all out there. So if I'm ever looking for old product pictures or old information, I've got it all right there at my fingertips. But pro tip is I recommend making at least one folder. And I call mine logos. I know people, probably other people have these and they probably call them different things. I call it logos. But in this particular folder, I upload all the things that are like logos, headshots, that I will want to have readily available, that I don't want to have to search for difficultly. So if you are not as familiar necessarily with Canva and folders and functions, most people come to this upload place and they upload their files and they've got literally everything you can imagine is out here, right? So that's why I move things personally into folders, because to scroll through all of this, I mean, this stuff goes back, I don't even know. It's probably since I had Canva, so probably 2,700 years. That was an exaggeration, obviously, but so if you do make a folder, even if you only make one folder or maybe two, the two that I would recommend are make a logo folder, like I said, and in there, put your headshot, put your folder, your logo, put the 31 logos out there, because if you're ever making Canva graphics for like fundraisers or givebacks or things like that, you know, and you're going to get it approved from CAGs, you want that 31 logo on there. So, and your gives logos, put all that stuff out there so that if you are, like I said, making graphics or thumbnails or flyers or anything that you're making, it's going to look professional because you can put the logos and things on it, and put them all out there in one folder so that you don't have to go searching for them. You know where you're at. The other folder that I would recommend that you should make, and mine is called 31 Memory. This is where I upload all of my stuff that is like photos from events, photos of me with my products, photos, you know, on retreats and things. Any of that kind of stuff, I have a folder, and technically I have 4 folders because way back in the day, you could only put 100 pictures in a folder, but now that has changed. So I'm going to move all these pictures into one folder. But if you have, like I said, just pictures of you and your kids that you like, or your family, or just things that, again, you want to have readily available that you can use multiple times, that are good things to use for your social channels. So like any pictures that you have, maybe even of your kids using your products. I'm always taking pictures of my boys using 31 products. You know, I've got pictures of them with their backpacks on, or pictures of them, you know, this one is a snack bag, any of that kind of stuff that is you or your family, or maybe your friends, or maybe your customers send you good pictures sometimes of them using their stuff. Put all of those images in one folder together so that, again, when you're going to make stuff and you're going to make content, you have that stuff out here, and it's your own for the most part. I'm not saying you can't put other people's pictures in there too, but use as many of you can as you can that are your own, so that, you know, again, it's just tying those people back to you. Like, oh, that's Shauna, that's Shauna, that's Shauna, or that's Shauna's kids, or that's Shauna's family. And you can have a folder with that stuff, like I said, so that it's easy to get to too. So those are like 2 super pro tips. Have a folder of your logo stuff. And again, that's going to include like your logos, your brand, your headshots, things like that. And then have another folder that is for products in use, or products in, I guess, not necessarily products, because, you know, you can see we have some from retreats and things here, but you know, you're going to try to sell that opportunity too. So you want to sell that fun, right? That girl time, that fun, that pink bubble. So any of those kind of things. 31 is great and shares their pictures with us from events. And so download all of those too and stick them in there. And, or the ones that you like anyway. I mean, they might have thousands out there, so maybe don't download all of them, but just so that you have a lot of things that you can use and you can pull from. And again, it's just going to create that branding and that vibe through everything. So, that's a couple pro tips for you. And then pretty much if you got your blank slate and you're ready to go and you want to, you know, start adding things, you can, if you're going to add pictures, you can just drag from over here over to there, and that will put it on your page. If you just click it, it will just put it on your page. If you drag it and you kind of hover up here in this top corner, it will set that photo as the background for that, for your banner. So like, you know, if you hover it there, it's now attached to the background, and anything that you add will go on top of that. Or like I said, if you just click it, then it will just put it over there, and you can drag it around and you can resize it. And if you want to crop it some, you can drag these little things, and that will kind of crop your pictures out. And then if you want to put pictures in, so you've probably seen this, but like pictures inside a certain shape. If you go to your elements here, this is where you search for everything on Canva. that you want to use. So if you search the word frame, that's how you're going to get all those cute little photo frames. So you could have a photo in a circle. You could have a photo in an arrow. You could have photos even inside letters. Somewhere in here, I'm sure there's letters. If we scroll around, here we go. So like if you wanted to spell out the word fun or something like that, obviously, I wouldn't try to necessarily spell out too long of a word, but let's say that this is kind of what you wanted it to. Another great thing with Canva, if you're dragging things, it'll make sure your spacing and stuff is correct with your grid lines, and it'll tell you, how much space is in between each element. But let's say that you wanted your thumbnail or whatever to have pictures of yourself inside the word fun, or pictures of your bags or whatever. You could do that. You just kind of drag and drop them in there. But frame is what you search for if you want to get photo frames. Okay, if you're wanting to get like a frame, as in like an outline, to put around your item, I always search border. So I feel like a lot of people would search for, and it's still giving, because I'm clicked on frames. And so a lot back, way back, I feel like people would search frame looking for this. And frame is what Canva uses as terminology for photo frames. So, but you can search anything out here. So if you want something, I did pull up some examples too. Let me see if I can find them. I have so many windows open. You're welcome. That was my stuff. Hopefully I didn't overwrite it for you guys. That's my banner that I'm working on. Okay, well, maybe I overwrote it, which is fine. Let's just go to YouTube. Because that's what we're here for, right? Okay, so for example, these are banner covers that you see that they have made, or thumbnails, like I said, that I feel like 31 or YouTube calls it. So like this one, for example, this says start from zero YouTube 2024. So it sounds like this girl is going to teach you how to grow your YouTube channel in 2024. And if you hover over it, it'll start playing the video. But this is what the thumbnail looks like. And so you can see that she has a cute little YouTube triangle thing in the corner. She's got some text. She's probably using her branding colors there. We got the Kelsey boys here because Jason is going to retire, and so they have their own podcast. And so they probably use similar cover photos for all of their podcast episodes. My kids watch my YouTube all the time, so you're going to see all kinds of kid things probably. Mr. Beast, you guys like, my kids are obsessed with Mr. Beast. I figure most are. And so you can see that there are cover photos out here. This is the girl that Hope shared with us. So she uses this cute little YouTube thing too. And then like her text is kind of curved over her. And so these are just examples. Just go out there and look around and see what you see. And you'll see all kinds of examples of ways that people are doing this and making their covers. And where'd that blank one go that we had? I'm going to close that because I don't even know why that was open. Here we go. We had it down there. Okay, so those are just examples and things that you could do. So we're gonna go to our fancy logo folder here, and this is again where I have my headshot and stuff that I use all the time for everything. I use the same picture basically for all of my channels because again, the more that I feel like see me and see it over and over again, the better that is, I think. So, and this is just a selfie I took. So if you have a professional headshot, that's great. I have some, but I feel like, the most recent ones I have were taken kind of right after I'd had my boys. And so they're not necessarily the most flattering, I guess. And, I haven't had them done since. So, Another thing that you can do if you have Canva is you can remove backgrounds on any photos with basically one click. So you can just click background remover and it's going to take all that out. And so a lot of these ones, the banners that we saw on YouTube, they might have their headshot there, or they might have, you know, something, a picture of themselves or something. So you could throw that up there, and then you could add some text. If you're going to put text inside bubbles or things like that, you could do that. So you could do like shapes. And then you could drag your text. You kind of put your text over that. And things like that. So pretty much, like I said, anything that you can imagine is out here on Canva. You can search literally anything. I challenge you to come up with something that you cannot search on Canva. And if you're looking for those cute little, like, so a lot of those had the YouTube little triangle, right? So you can literally just search YouTube, and here's a triangle that you can use. Here's one that's not filled in if you like that style better. So they're literally just using these elements from Canva, and they're just popping them around here and there and making them, you know, kind of using them professionally on their stuff. And you, like I said, you can search anything. So like a couple of other tips or ones that you could search that are kind of fun to search is if you search watercolor, you'll get all these cool like watercolor background things that you could use. So maybe you wanted that to be the background of your stuff. You could do that. If you go to position, that's where you can move things behind and in front of. Or maybe you wanted to use like one of these circular watercolors that you like maybe you really liked this blue and teal purpley one. And you could drag the size and drag it around. And like I said, position it around to where it's in the background. And that can totally be just behind you. And it looks like you went out there and painted some amazing thing and put it behind you, but it's really just an element on Canva. Another thing that's fun to play with is this transparency button. This is how much see-through it is. So if you've got it on 100%, that means you can't see through it. And so you're getting the full effect of that element. But you could totally bring that up and down, and that might make an item more see-through. You can also do that with photos. So we go back to this. If we were to drag this to be our background, I could make this photo more transparent to where you can see the white through it. And then it's just kind of like hinting that that photo is the background. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, bam, here's a photo right in your face. Another thing that's really popular to do, if you want a photo in the background like that, but you don't necessarily want to do the transparency thing, two things that are super trendy right now is you add either a black or a white square or rectangle over it. And you could do any color, honestly. So like I would totally do my yellow, but I'm just saying that black and white are really trendy. And you can change the transparency on this. And then that will kind of like, again, let your photo see through that. But if you do black, I got hold of the photo. Oh, I've got a hold of the text. I was like, why is it being crazy? Just gonna delete that. Somewhere it's saying that I've got my text highlighted. Maybe I need to refresh my screen. Sometimes it'll Nope, that's still saying text. Why is it saying that? I don't have a text on there. Okay, so this is throwing me for a loop. This has literally never happened, that it thinks that I have text instead of an element selected. Like, see, it's saying that I have, I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna add a new page because maybe it's going crazy on us. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, Canva. Nope, it's still doing it. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well, anyway, you could totally change this rectangle to be, oh, because I have, goodness gracious. Okay, so my zoom head was over the was over the button. Okay, so all that work for nothing because it was right there the whole time. Okay, so if you change this to black, that's going to make your photo look like darker, if you will, but be back there. And so white text will super pop. Likewise, if you were to make that rectangle white, and change the transparency on it, then see, it's kind of like the photo is coming through again, but it's like whited out a little bit, then black or colored text would really pop. And so that is a pro tip kind of too that lots of people are using right now, that they'll just add a rectangle or something over it, and then they'll play with the transparency on that rather than the transparency on the photo, because every time that you change a photo, you know, the photo is going to be different depending on lighting, time of day that it was taken, and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of sometimes makes it a little bit more cohesive if you're just changing that square in front of it instead. So yeah, and like I said, you can search anything out here. So a couple examples I wanted to give you. So we did the watercolor one. That's one I really like. You can search scribble, and you'll get all these, you know, cool graphics and things too. You could search like light flare. So if you're wanting to add some pizzazz over top of some photos or things, you could add some stuff like that to them. You can search, I mean, literally anything you can think of. Like I challenge you to find a word that you can't search something for. So even just crazy words, like I said, bobble, you could search background, and that'll give you some different background things. You can even search, like if you go into the photos, like when you search, you can switch whether you're on graphics, videos, photos, all. So like if we were to want, let's say we want a white fence background, you can literally search that. And then there you go. You could have a white fence and then you could put all of your information on there. And there are different fences. So you could go more distressed, you could go less distressed. Or maybe you want a brick wall, or maybe you want shiplap. I'm telling you, anything. You can search anything out there. So, and then you can just add it and add your stuff on top of it. So, yeah, there's some tips and tricks on how to make your YouTube cover thumbnails, if you will. And like I said, if you're doing the shorts, then you would use the story size cover instead. But you can search anything out here. You can play around with colors. Like I said, you can play around with editing the photos. There's also AI is now built into Canva. So don't we all just love to talk about AI? And so you can go absolutely crazy with that if you want to go down the AI rabbit hole. And it can edit photos for you. It can create photos for you based on, you know, typing what you want it to do, and all of that fun stuff. So literally the world is your oyster, as they say. But those are just some tips and tricks on Canva and how you can use it to create those thumbnail images to, again, just create like a concise look on your channel. The one last thing that I did want to go into was I'm currently working. So if you go to YouTube and you go to your own channel, and judgment-free zone, right? Because I am not super active on YouTube yet, but that's why we're in this pod. For the most part, I use YouTube to upload my team training videos, and I put them out here as unlisted so that nobody else can see them. So great job, me, for you know, not sharing things with other people, I suppose. But you have this banner cover up here at the top. And so again, mine is super old. And so I was trying to decide what I wanted to change mine to. And I thought that I had it all designed, all perfect, exactly the way that I wanted it to be. And I got ready to upload it the other day. And I'm going to show you. So basically, and this I feel like is new from the last time that I did my banner there, which was years and years and years ago. But this is kind of fun because it shows you what people will see on your photo or your banner based on what device they're on. So if they're viewing this on a TV, they get to see everything I've designed, which is perfect because that's what I want them to see. Am I right? Because that's what I designed. However, if they are on a desktop, they're only going to see this. But I thought this was really handy that they had these markings and things out there so that we know what people are going to see, right? So as you can see, I need to work on mine a little bit still because I want to get it in that viewing area. So if they're on a desktop, this is what they're going to see. And if they're on their phone, this is what they're going to see. So they literally, you only have this much room for information on your phone, which is where most people are going to be watching us. Am I right? To figure out what you want your channel to look like. And so I am now going to work on designing this to where that fancy little cover photo up there is going to have the information that I want in it. And so I'm going to be working on that. But I thought this was very handy. Like I said, if you don't have your channel up to date yet, as based on like, you know, your branding and your cover photo and that for yourself and your profile picture and all that, this was very interesting and very helpful. So now I want to design all of my important information in this size of a square. And then I'm gonna have stuff that comes out of that still be there because I want it to look pretty on all platforms, but be not as important information so that they get the most important information in that little square that I want them to have. So those are my tips and tricks. And I hope you had fun with me today. I know this was probably a longer video and training than anybody else has done, but I just thought this way I could show you some examples. And I think it would be super, super, super fun if we did a working hour together where anybody who wanted to work on Canva together and just start designing things and working on things together, where maybe we could just put our heads down and work but be accountable with one another. And so I would love to do that. So if you want to join me for a working hour on where you're just going to start setting up your own content and your platform and, you know, just work, like I said, like a power hour type of thing, where we just work, but we can use that time to also ask one another questions and things too, if we have them, then I think that sounds like so much fun. So if you want to join me, let me know in the comments and I'm going to get that set up for us. So hope you guys have a great day. And if you have any questions of anything I've shared today, feel free to reach out. I know it wasn't the most organized training because I'm not someone who like makes a training plan. I just go by the seat of my pants. So you're welcome for that. But any questions you have, or if you're working on something and it's not working, you got a question, shoot me a message. I am more than happy to help. So have a great Wednesday. Bye.